Leon Edwards defended the welterweight title at UFC 296 in an emotionally charged main event. Serial pest Colby Covington was completely shut down in his third attempt at a title, which was particularly sweet after his deplorable pre-fight antics.
I think that's like put him in the shower. I think my reaction to it kind of like threw him off a bit. I felt no one were feeling what you're saying, you know, like the fans turn against him and the media was like, what are you doing? I feel like, but he's a coward and he's always been a coward, you know, even when he lost the fight, he keep making excuses that, I won the fight. Even it was when knocked him out and broke his jaw. He's like, yeah, it was Mark's fault. It's always someone else's fault when he loses, you know.
As is the norm with Covington, there was a huge amount of animosity in the air, thanks to the American's big mouth. While he usually comes off as a dumb and innocuous schoolyard bully, Colby crossed a line when he mentioned the champ's father, who was shot and killed when Rocky was just 13.
I'm
Then to get knocked the f*** out after, right?
You're idiot.
Then to get knocked the f*** after,
stupidest
right?
guy on the UFC roster. Literally, you're so stupid. On Saturday night, I'm gonna bring you to a place you never want to be. I'm gonna bring you to 7th layer hell.
Okay.
No, I'm bringing you to 7th layer hell. We'll say what's up to your dad while we're there.
Oh!
Covington likes to rile up his opponent and make them angry before a fight. The jibe clearly hit the mark, but as Leon explained after the fight, though, he wasn't having any of it.
This is what he wants. He wants you to come out there and fight emotional and like try swing and take it down, you know. So I thought, okay, this is like, also what he said is up, but let's switch it all off and go out and do your job, you know.
Colby's pre-fight offense continued at the weigh-ins, where he tried to rally the American crowd with a patriotic England versus the States speech, but it fell flat.
Las Vegas, Nevada, are you ready for the American Revolution? This fight tomorrow night is for all the men and women in law enforcement, all our troops, past and present, and it's for the whole entire MAGA movement. You can delay us, but you cannot deny us. Trump's taking back the White House, and I'm taking back the Undisputed tomorrow night. This one's for America, let's go!
Meanwhile, Edwards was now completely dialed in, even more so than usual. It's more than possible his demeanor is the cause of Covington's poor performance.
That man is as good as dead tomorrow. Make sure he keeps everything he said about my dad. Just tomorrow, we settle it.
Edwards was always going to be the superior striker, but he also took it to Colby in the wrestling department, where it was thought the American would have the advantage. Meanwhile, Colby did next to nothing, despite what he says.
You know, I thought I had the win. I thought I did enough, but, you know, the judges have never favored me. They hate me because I support Trump, and, you know, everybody hates Trump in this building, so, you know, it is what it is. Life goes on.
In the co-main, Alexandre Pantoja made his first defense of the flyweight title. The champ made it 2 from 2 against Brandon Royval with a dominant unanimous decision. The two first met back in August of 2021, when Pantoja submitted Royval with a rear naked choke. Royval improved his ground game after the loss and won his next 3 straight to get the title shot, but it still wasn't good enough. Pantoja dominated the first 2 rounds, mostly with top control on the mat, before rocking Royval twice in the third. With 3 rounds in the bag, Royval came on and really turned it up in the 5th, until Pantoja stifled the comeback with more grappling for the win.
I don't expect war like that, you know, again, you know, but that's the flyweight division, you know, all the guys so prepared for that moment, you know, and all my respect for Brandon Royval. I shake him a couple times, you know, especially in the first rounds. I kick him so hard in the ribs. I don't know how he's keep coming, you know. I have a very good kick.
Also on the card, Shavkat Rakhmonov's impeccable run to a welterweight title fight continued against Stephen Thompson. It took a round and a half for the number 6 ranked welterweight to get it done, but Rakhmonov kept his perfect 18-0 record with 18 stoppages alive with a rear naked choke. And in a far less compelling but far more hyped comparison, Paddy Pimblett continued to limp up the lightweight rankings with a hard-fought win over UFC legend Tony Ferguson.
Surprised that he got out that first round, yeah. Know what I mean? I hit him with some punches there, a lot of unanswered ones, and I thought that maybe the ref could have stepped in, but give Mark Smith his due, he's one of the best refs in the world, so.
Paddy the Baddie handed Ferguson his 7th straight loss, which Pimblett planned to celebrate at the pub while watching the Liverpool versus Manchester soccer match the following morning.
There's actually a Liverpool supporters club here in Vegas, lad, and I've got the invite, so I think I'll be in there in the morning at 8:30, swinging my shirt, and I'm like, woo!
Josh Emmett earned himself a $50K performance bonus for landing one of the hardest punches in UFC history, and he did it at featherweight. Ariane Lipski and Shamil Gaziev also claimed bonuses, while Irena Aldana and Carol Hossa won Fight of the Night. And in other news from UFC 296, the middleweight champion Sean Strickland lost his mind even more so than usual when he was out trash-talked by the bantamweight champ Sean O'Malley and his next opponent, Dricus du Plessis. At a pre-show presser, Strickland dribbled a tirade of chauvinistic and homophobic rot directed specifically at both men and then at all women in general. In retaliation, the much smaller O'Malley, just a few feet away, and DDP, responded by alluding to Strickland's violent and possibly explicit relationship with his father. The champ was clearly rattled, and the following night at the event, Strickland attacked du Plessis before being escorted from the premises. "I don't care about him being triggered," DDP said after the altercation. "He goes and says whatever he wants. Now there's one thing that's a soft spot, a trigger for him, and now we're not allowed to say it? I mean, if you want to dish it out, you have to be able to take it." It did seem weak of Strickland to be unable to take personal hits when that's his own modus operandi, but none of what any of the three men said was okay. Let's hope Dana White lets them all know.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.